Yeah, we are. And we're live.
Woo! Hey, folks.
Hi there. All right. Today's session is going to be very, very important for quite a few of you out there. And I know this because we've had hundreds of conversations about this very topic today.
Yep.
If you are a coach, a consultant, or creator with multiple projects going on, but none of them are performing at their peak level, well, this episode is for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have multiple ideal customers? More than one income stream? Raise your hand. Hi. Okay. A book? A podcast? Are you a speaker? Have you written a course? Etc., right? Today, we're going to tackle some hard questions about making all of those things work together seamlessly and stress-free.
Yep. Listen, before we tackle this topic, please do us a favor. Do yourself a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. It tells us that this is the right content that that is valuable to you, and we'll create more of that that's valuable to you. Okay. So, all right, back to the multiple projects. I know about multiple projects because I've always been that guy, and I know I'm talking directly to thousands of y'all that are those people also. You've got this income stream, this income stream, this income stream, right? When I started doing business with Tanya, when I hired Tanya to start teaching me what we teach y'all now every day, I had business in 3 major verticals, and I needed to figure out how to make all of these merge into one brand that explained the why I did all 3 of them. And I got to add this, I didn't know that this was even a thing. She taught me this. Like, I thought I just had 3 different income streams. She taught me I had one brand.
Yeah. And like a lot of people, they think that you got to have a different brand for all the different things that you're doing. So hang tight, guys, because we're going to dispel that myth. Okay. And I'm going to give you an example. Just yesterday, I spoke with a gentleman who has a product for business owners. He's a coach. He has a product for business owners and another product for consumers. He's been working in the consumer side of the industry forever, been a business coach pretty much more recently. And now he's about to add a podcast to the mix, right? He's already got a course that he created. So you can imagine how his mind is all over the place, right? He wants to know how to merge all those projects into one profitable brand and business. And so here were his exact words to me yesterday. My biggest challenge is melding my world together, the clarity, the messaging. I have, quote, hundreds of ideas, but I don't know where to start to maximize everything, right, into one thought. And if you're feeling that pain, we've got good news for you.
Yeah, holler if you hear me. Who's I know somebody's listening out there that's like, oh my God, that's me. That is exactly me, right? Well, don't worry, there's a fix for it. Here's another good example. We're working with a guy that owns an insurance agency with several locations, but his heart is really in coaching. He coaches independent insurance agency owners on how to systemize, how to market their agencies, and he's almost finished creating his course for agents and agency owners. He's also writing a book, and he's starting a podcast. All right.
He already has a podcast.
So he has a podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. Like, that is the typical world of a coach, right?
It really
You're
is.
involved in a lot of things. And he wanted to know when we first got on the phone with him, when he decided to, come into our program and kind of straighten all that out, he wanted to know, do I really need a different brand for this and a different brand for this and a different brand for this? So good news is we literally, 2 weeks ago, I think we just completed his brand messaging reveal. And that's kind of where the story of it all comes together and becomes this very concise story that puts clarity to who you are, what you stand for, the people you serve, and how you serve them, right? You know those questions, most likely. Okay, so we just completed his brand messaging reveal, and he was completely stunned. He said, I can't believe you guys really did pull all those things together with one concise message and brand. So now he feels like he no longer has those multiple personalities, right? Which is one of the coolest things that somebody ever said years ago. They said, I just feel like I have a multiple personality disorder. I'm all over the place, right? Well, he didn't, he didn't feel like he was he did feel like he was all over the place, for sure. That's one of the reasons he came to us. But he knew that there was a clear purpose behind everything he was doing. He just didn't know how to kind of pull it all together. And now he has one story that explains why he does all of those. And most importantly, a plan to have each project seamlessly feed into each other for maximum profit. I think that's worth repeating.
That's huge.
You not only have to put this concise brand together that explains why you're doing all of these things, but you need to make sure that the things you're doing are purposeful and feed each other. Okay, I'll talk about that again in just a moment because that's another topic too.
Well, it is, and it's a real challenge for business owners, solo entrepreneurs, podcasters, authors, speakers, coaches, real estate agents, insurance agents, landscapers. It does not matter. So many people are caught in the same trap. Right. And they're involved in so many different things. It's easy to lose sight of what's actually working or why we got involved in these projects to begin with. That's what's most important, right? Most people think they need to have a different brand for every company that they have or every vertical or every profit stream that they have. Oh, I need a brand for this and I need a brand for that. I need a brand for that. And I was actually worried about that too when I first started talking with Tanya. I was a national renowned auctioneer. I was licensed in 30 states as a real estate broker. I had an investment company. I had a construction company that was fixing all the properties that I was buying or other investors were buying. We had them all like in different, and I was like, okay, I need a brand for this. I need a brand for this. I need a brand for that. And then Tanya came to me and she said these genius words. Everybody listening? Which came first? You are all of these verticals, all of these businesses. And I went, of course it was me. And she said, okay, then you're the reason why. And we need to show everybody why you are the face of your business in all of those verticals, not why each one of those verticals are different. Okay. It was huge. It was eye-opening and it molded a focus that I wish I could give it to every entrepreneur I know, because that focus has really skyrocketed our company and it grows year over year over year over year, even in recessions.
Yeah. And, I want to expound just for a moment. So the call that I had yesterday with this gentleman who we'll be working with, he said, well, I'm thinking about starting a podcast, but I work with this customer here. Do I need a podcast for that? Do I need a different podcast for this one and yet a different one for this? And it's like, no. Like you do want to sleep, right? And you want to spend time with your family and you want to have like the most important thing in the world, personal freedom to do those things.
It's priceless.
Right? It's priceless. You can't put a price on that. And so of course he doesn't need to do all those things. There are ways to pull all of those things together. And it does go back to which came first, you or your business, right? Mm-hmm. And if you can set your personal brand to explain why you're doing these things and how they all come together, people will find a way to fit. Yeah. Because they will, and they do. They'll find Absolutely a way to fit. It never, ever fails. It just doesn't. So, there are a lot of questions out there about how do I do this? It's different, of course, for each person, right? It's different because each person's why is different. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I will say this, sometimes when we're working with people and they look at things and they try and figure out, okay, where is it that we need to that I need to focus? Am I doing too many things? Could I take it from 5 projects down to 3, not miss a beat and make more money and save myself time? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes it does involve pulling back a project or 2 or meshing it in with something else you're already doing so you spend no more time doing it, right? It's kind of like this. I'll give you this analogy that I hope will bring this into some clarity. When you are working on lots of different projects, right? And it's kind of like doing content as a coach or a consultant or anybody like that. It's kind of like that. So when you're creating content, you don't want to create content 5 different times. You really want to create one great piece of content, right? And usually here's what we do. And we'll just show you some of this multi-purpose, right? Because it sort of has a parallel to what we're talking about today. We shoot this video, okay? This video becomes one point of content. It's a video. So people that like to consume video, it's great for them. Second thing, it gets turned into a podcast. That way, if they want to, and we have a video podcast, right? But you can listen to it just audio if you want to. But that way they listen to audio on another platform of their choice if they want to. They still get the content. Third thing, we turn this into a blog post on our website. If they want to consume it that way, they consume it that way. Fourth thing, sometimes we turn it into an actual article that gets published in another publication, you know, and the list goes on, right? So every time you create something, you don't want to have to create it 5 times. That's what's involved when you're looking at a brand. How do we explain this person doing these things, all amounting to this one end goal? Okay, and that's kind of, hopefully that helps bring it into a little bit more clarity about what that's all about.
And that's just one example. We have dozens in our program. And so, listen, if you're struggling with this, we have a Facebook group to help you with that. There's others just like you, just like us. And we get in that Facebook group and we dissect that. Every day we're cracking the code on how to do that better and more seamlessly, right? It's totally free. Build your business star brand. Join us there. We'd love for your content, your interaction with it, because we can create more and show you more content on this very subject right here. It is life-changing because we live in a very multifaceted world. We do. Like so many people that I talk to have several things going on, and it's just smart. It's just smart business, but it's hard to pull it all together. And just realize, as your main takeaway, you only need one brand for that, and we're the experts to help you do that. Okay.
All right. That sounds good. That was about as good a close as I've ever heard.
Well, mic drop moment.
It is a mic drop. Mike's mic drop. All right, guys, if you have any questions, you know where to reach us. And I hope this helps you guys today to really know that it's about clarity. It's about merging these things. You can have the life that you desire. You absolutely can have it. And it's just a matter of reorganizing. And more than anything, it's like I learned years ago, if I wanted people to see me differently, I had to change the way I presented myself. And when I did that, guess what? I charged more. I was able to charge more and able to spend less money on marketing and more time on myself. Okay. That's the lesson.
She trumped my mic drop moment.
Did I? I did. 2
That's
mic
awesome.
drops in one.
That's awesome.
Have a great day, everybody. We appreciate you tuning in.
Bye, guys.